Hi, hello, and welcome to round 3 here in Glyndon, Minnesota at DGF High School, bringing you some coverage of this Section 8 AA basketball postseason tournament here on Magnitude Sports. My name is Eric Tiongson alongside my partner Mike Mason, and we thank you for tuning in today from wherever you may be. We should be having a great one on our hands here as we have the DGF Rebels, the 12-6 DGF Rebels hosting the 11-8 Barnesville Trojans. Pretty exciting game in our hands here. We've seen these two teams play twice already here on Magnitude, splitting these regular season series. Barnesville winning on their home court, and then DGF winning in the final regular season game on their home court. And now round 3, the rubber match, if you will.
Yeah.
And the winner gets a trip to the semifinals, I believe. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. And, well, you know what? Let me pull up those brackets right now, and let's just tell you where everybody is sitting at. It'll take me a moment to pull it up. But, you know, we the first time we saw these guys in Barnesville, Barnesville snuck away with a 2-point win, a game that maybe should have gone into overtime, or a game that you could say DGF should have won. I mean, when you have a 2-point game, you can think back through the whole game and think it's not just one missed shot, but it's, you know, it could be anyone's fault for winning or losing that game. So I'm still pulling up those brackets, but I suspect DGF kind of took care of business here about a week ago when these two teams met in this gym. But I suspect that Barnesville might put up a little bit tougher fight this time around. I'm not going to go ahead and make a pick on who's going to win and lose this game. But I just have this hunch that's not going to be quite the one-sided victory as it was last time. Maybe I'll be wrong, but we'll have to wait and find out, I guess. So,
yeah, I think a big sort of going to talk about something to watch out for. Well, how about the return of Caden Zenzen? We saw his first game back in action for Barnesville last time out in their game against Pelican Rapids, and he was back to his old self. He was out with an injury. You can see if you look around during the game, he has a brace on his leg, so maybe nursing a bit of a leg injury, but he was a monster against Pelican Rapids. He had 19 points, countless rebounds, played some great defense as well. He was out for the game against DGF here in Glyndon about a week ago, but he did play when they met back in Barnesville, and he had 13 points in that game, so certainly he's going to be an impact player to watch and could be a big difference maker if Barnesville's going to right the ship here and try and avenge their loss from last week.
yeah, I certainly agree with that. And look, I just got the brackets pulled up, and some good news for either fan base, Rebel fans or Trojan fans. The winner of this game will take on the winner of Perham and East Grand Forks, which is the other game that is live right now here on Magnitude Sports. And since we are, if Perham wins that game against East Grand Forks, then the winner of this game will be on Magnitude Sports, regardless of who wins or who loses. Let's see here. Perham is the, I want to say, I'm not seeing the rankings on here. Let me see if I can scroll back to, oh, they had them mixed up. So yeah, Perham's the 2 seed. So Perham would, I think, so if Perham wins against East Grand Forks, then Perham would come here to Glyndon if DGF wins this game. If Barnesville wins this game, then Barnesville will travel to Perham on March 24th for the semifinal matchup. If East Grand Forks defeats Perham, they would be the 6th seed, and then Barnesville would host East Grand Forks, or Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton would host East Grand Forks. So there's a pretty good chance that the next game for the winner of this game will be on Magnitude Sports. Let's put it that way. So we are certainly looking forward to that one. We'll give you score updates on that Perham East Grand Forks game as well throughout our broadcast today. We're about 8 minutes away from the starting announcements and all that cool stuff of this one. So we'll take a break here in our Dean's Bulk Service pregame show, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this pregame show and get you closer to our starting lineups and all that good stuff right after this here on the Magnitude Sport. Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISOClean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
Magnitude Sports has delivered over 1,000 broadcasts capturing all fourth quarter comebacks, walk-off home runs, buzzer beaters, 62-point volleyball sets, and double overtime victories. The excitement is on Magnitude Sports. Over 150 teams from 5 states and 2 countries have been featured on Magnitude Sports at both the varsity and sub-varsity levels. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and select your alert preference so you never have to miss that big moment from your favorite area sports team. Find us on Facebook and Twitter too. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
While the scoreboard reveals the winner of an athletic contest, the real winners are the players, coaches, and fans who show good sportsmanship. Those who treat the game as a competition, show concern for an injured player, and accept all decisions from game officials. Please remember to be a good sport when attending a high school game. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
All right, welcome back here to Glyndon, Minnesota, Dilworth Glyndon Felton High School. And whether you're a Rebels fan watching on Magnitude or a Rebels fan watching on the DGF YouTube, we are simulcasting this to their YouTube channel, as we have done all season for the road games for DGF and the couple of home games that we have done. And if you're a Trojans fan tuning in from Barnesville, whether you're here in the stands or you're back at home or you're at one of the local businesses watching the game, we certainly appreciate you tuning in. It's been a fun basketball season all around. North Dakota, Minnesota has certainly been fun. And, I'm just curious. I think I've asked you this before, Eric, but one of your favorite games from either the North Dakota or Minnesota side, I have an idea what you're going to answer. But for those who don't know, what's your answer on that?
I think easily one of my top picks, if not my top pick, has got to be round one between these two teams out at Barnesville. I mean, you just want to talk about two teams just evenly matched, wire to wire, going down to the end. Two great rivalries as well. You know, you talk about a lot of times you see teams over in the Heart of Lakes Conference. I mean, anytime they get together, really anything can happen. I think these two teams are a prime example of it. They've got a lot of great players just all throughout. You know, should be another great atmosphere here today. We've seen stands start to fill up, and still like about 10 minutes or so before tip-off. So
yeah,
should be in for another great one here today.
Definitely, yeah. DGF coming in with an overall record of 12-6, and and they have an 8-6 record against Section 8 AA opponents. That includes opponents from the North and South divisions of 8-2A. And then in their conference, they are 7-5. So when they're playing at home, they're 10-1. Their only loss this year at home came against, let me look here, it was the Breckenridge Cowboys on March 8th. They would fall 83-72. That's the only time the Dilworth Glyndon Felton Rebels have lost here on their home court.
Wow.
All their other losses came on the road at Frazee 58-52, an overtime loss at Perham 72-69, and then at Hawley 64-62, at Breckenridge 84-65, at Barnesville 66-64, and then the home one here against Breckenridge. So you look at all those losses, and really the only one the only one of those losses that the Rebels were not in that game was the road loss in Breckenridge 84-65. All the other games were single-digit deficit losses, like 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. So the Rebels could easily be 15-1 versus 12-6. There's no doubt about that. So this is a really good basketball team here that the Dilworth Glyndon Felton Rebels have, and it's going to be a big test for Barnesville. But on the flip side, it's also going to be a good test for DGF. It's hard when two teams meet for 3 times. I know these teams have won 1 each, so they always have that cliche where it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Well, I don't really know what to say about the third matchup of this one because neither team has beaten each team 2 times. So who's going to win this one? It could certainly be a coin flip, and I think the first 6 to 7 minutes of this game will set the tempo for the first half. But we've seen Barnesville down and cruise back, too, especially in the last game against Pelican Rapids. They were down 17-4, ended up winning that game after that slow start. So even if Barnesville does have a slow start in this one, don't necessarily count them out at the moment. So let's see here. We are about 1 minute away from the opening announcements and national anthem. Any final thoughts here before we take our final break?
Well, I like what you're talking about with their records and how this is a test for both teams. I think really once you start to get to this spot in the playoffs, I mean, you could just throw seeding and record out the window. At the end of the day, these are 2 very good basketball teams, and I think we're going to see it out here tonight.
All right, well, with that said, we'll take a timeout, and we'll be back here after the national anthem on the Magnitude.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and IsoClean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament. All right, welcome back. And I have an echo on my headset. Let me fix that here really quick. All right, welcome back. Echo's gone, and now it's time for your starting lineups here. We'll start with the Barnesville Trojans. We'll see if we can get through the crowd here.
A junior, 5'6" guard, number 23, Ryan Rusted. And finishing off the lineup for the Trojans, a 6'3" post player, junior, number 24, Glyndon. Head coach for the Trojans, Mr. Chad Suter, assisted by Gracie Hens, Jensen Michi, and Dion Herman. And now the lineup for the home, Dilworth, Glyndon, the center guard position, 6'2" senior, number 3, Ian Nicholson. A guard, a sophomore, 6'6", number 10, Owen Leach. Also in the guard position, a senior, 5'8", another senior forward, 5'11", number 20, Justin Wayne. And in the paint, a forward, junior, 6'1", number 33, Logan Goodgood. And coach as well, Mr. Mike Clark, assistant Mr. Robbie Spread, Mr. Aiden Leach.
All right, so those are starting lineups for the Rebels and the Trojans. Taking a quick peek in at East Grand Forks and Perham. They are going through starting lineups right now. So that game about to get underway here. It'll be a few seconds after our game gets started here, and we're underway here in this one.
Get things started up. It's going to be Schreiber taking the ball up for the Rebels. Opening tip one there by Owen Leach, who's been a monster in this matchup so far. Taking a look at the statistics, he's been averaging 17 points a game this season versus Barnesville, and Leach going to be blocked inside, but I think they're going to get a foul called on Zenzen. So a good start right there for DGF, as they'll be going to the line shooting too. Zenzen's going to pick up his first. That'll be a big call right there. Zenzen, big guy inside. Let's see if DGF tries to attack him, try and get him in foul trouble. Hits his first. Hard to believe he's only a sophomore. You look at the size and the skill on this man, and if you're DGF, you got to be thinking, hey, we got 2 more years of this kid too.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Oh, my mic's a little loud now. 2-0 start here for the Rebels. It's Tonsville to bring it down.
Out to Rusted. Rusted trying to put it inside to Tonsville, and Leach will get the steal. Leach will bring it up in transition, taking it all the way, and nice defense from Hay. Back in the hands of Bittker, though. That one no good. And as Hang hits the deck right there, trying to grab the board. Looks like they're going to get a push call. So Bitker's going to pick up his first, and Bittker going to be a player to watch out for the Rebels. Last time these two teams met, Bittker was chosen as player of the game. He had 12 points and a myriad of rebounds and a few blocks in there as well. He is the definition of an impact player down low. He's going to be one to watch out for. Tonsfeld out to Rusted, who will pull up from around the elbow, and Rusted gets it to fall. So good answer right there from Barnesville, and we're all knotted up 2-2. And both the crowds sitting down now as both their teams have gotten buckets.
And I have to give credit to the Barnesville fans as I look across and I look to my right. I see more purple than I see black and gray. So nice traveling here for Barnesville.
Yeah, well, actually, when I was leaving the gym after the game against Pelican Rapids, as Tonsfeld takes it inside, they're going to get a block. I overheard actually Coach Suter talking with some of the other coaches. They were talking about trying to just get as many people packed in here as they could, trying to convince students and parents to come, and looks like it worked because they've got a great crowd out here today. Tonsfeld's going to go to the line for 2, and he gets the first.
I think that's the first time Barnesville has had the lead in 2 games here in Glyndon.
Wow.
I think
you might be right. And they're going to extend that lead and make it a 2-point lead as Tonsfeld goes 2 for 2. Free throw is going to be another thing to watch on this one. I don't know how many of you tuned into March Madness yesterday, but that Oral Roberts Ohio State upset, big difference in that free throw shooting. I think Oral Roberts shot about 20% better from the line. Certainly something to watch out for in postseason basketball.
And a congratulations goes out to the Barnesville girls basketball team, knocking off the #1 seeded Crookston Pirates yesterday.
Schreiber tries a 3 and he puts it in, so that lead didn't last long. As Colby Schreiber hits a straightaway triple. He's got his first 3 on the night, and it's 5-4 in favor of the Rebels. Here's Nielsen, who came up huge against Pelican Rapids, and that one's stolen away from Leach. So give Leach 2 steals there as he's able to recover in transition. Just a fantastic defensive player Owen Leach is. He uses his length to get a lot of steals and a lot of blocks. Fight for the ball right there. Rusted's going to come up with it. Here comes Rusted in transition, and he can't get it to go. Hang on the follow, no good. Zenzen down low, and he draws the foul. So now Caden Zenzen will go to the free throw line and shoot 2. As a foul is going to be called, number 2 on Bitker. Not only something to watch out for is Logan Bitker, one of the premier players on this Rebel team, already starting to teeter into foul trouble.
Yeah, 2 fouls about 2.5 minutes into the game. Certainly not where you want any of your players to be at, regardless of which team you're coaching. So.
And right on cue, Bitker going to go to the bench. As I imagine they're going to try and preserve him a little bit. He's certainly someone that they're going to want down the stretch. Zenzen hits the second. And the Trojans get the lead back, 6-5 the score. Here early on, about 15.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Leach will fire a cross-court pass to Schreiber. Inside, falling down right there was, couldn't quite catch the number. Looked like Summers there. Nielsen tries a 3 off the mark. Rebound goes out to Leach. Cam Hang will pick him up defensively. Leach's pass is stolen away into the hands of Rusted. Nielsen will slow things down. They'll get it out to Tonsfeld and they'll reset. Tonsfeld off a screen, the kick out. Now back with Hang. Rusted in the corner. You can hear this DGF crowd getting into it now, urging the defense on. Tonsfeld out to Rusted. Zenzen working inside, and he's going to draw a foul. Caden Zenzen going back to the line, and already 4 fouls here on DGF early on.
Well, that's, I guess you could say that's good news if you're a Trojans fan, because, we talk about points with the clock stopped, and it doesn't hurt to do that early in the game to build a lead, too, and just in case something happens later where DGF starts to creep back into it, but they're up 7-5 now, and chance to make it a 3-point game here, and they do.
That's a great point you make right there. Just take as many points as you can get right now. I think this is a game where really no lead is going to be safe. You look at the offensive firepower on both these teams, so the more you can build it, the harder it's going to be to topple. That pass a little errant, but it looks like a foul probably the reason for it, as the referee's going to get a holding called. I believe it's going to be on Nielsen. And that is the call right there, Nielsen. So he'll pick up his first personal. Second team foul here on Barnesville as opposed to 4 on DGF. And they'll inbound, it'll be Mickelson. Out to Wang. Now down low with Leach. Leach likes that matchup inside. You see the difference in size right there. He'll draw the foul.
Yeah, 17 fouls between the two teams combined so far, so it's been a whistled game, we'll say that much.
Yeah, well, especially compared to Barnesville's last game, you'll want to look at how quick that one went. I mean, 2 timeouts up until about midway through the second half, and not a lot of fouls in that one either, but...
Yeah, it seemed like, and I know this wasn't the case, but it seemed like the opening tip to the halftime was the only action. We had no stoppages in that first half. At least it felt that way. But I think there was like 1 or 2 stoppages. But that first, matter of fact, that whole game went by super quick as well.
No kidding. Definitely one of the quickest games I think I've ever done. Tonsfeld for 3. That one a bit short. Leach the rebound. Hang giving chase. Looked like he might have tried to poke that ball out as Tonsfeld hits the deck, and they're going to get a charge. Adam Tonsfeld taking the charge on Owen Leach, and you want to talk about those might be the 2 star players for their respective teams, and chalk up the win for Tonsfeld right there.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think Leach stands a few inches taller than Tonsfeld. That certainly looked like an unfair collision. That did not go in Tonsfeld's favor, but kudos to him for taking that charge and getting his team the ball possession.
Well, off that possession, they're going to get a miss. Leach grabbing yet another rebound. He's been a monster on the glass so far. He'll get it out to Wang. Now back with Leach. Tough shot right there, won't go, and Zenzen nearly the rebound. I think they'll chalk it up to Hang officially, but Barnesville's not going to care. They got the ball back, and they've got a 1-point lead. Tonsfeld off the dribble, out to Rusted. Takes inside, tough shot, off the front of the rim right there. Wang the board. Now here comes Schreiber, and won't say a bit of an offensive dry spell, but certainly seen a lot of tough defense and a lot of fouls like you've said. Seems like not too many field goals so far in this game, but I get the feeling that's going to change in a hurry. Leach back out with Schreiber. Now here's Summers. Summers nearly has it stolen away, and now he does. Nice defense right there from Jack Nielsen.
That's a combination of hustle and patience right there to get that steal. Good job for Jack Nielsen on that one.
Deep 3 from Tonsfeld won't go. Schreiber the board. And you'll look at Tonsfeld, and another thing that Tonsfeld and Leach do have in common, both of them are not only not hesitant to pull the 3, but they can hit it from well beyond the arc. We saw Owen Leach last time out. He hit a few deep 3s. Wang inside, that one won't fall, but a nice offensive board by Summers, and he gets it to go.
We're all knotted up at 8, 6 minutes into the game.
Jacob Summers with a nice offensive putback right there. We saw a little bit of him in the JV game last time these two teams met. Also in the varsity game, but good contribution from him right there, the offensive board and 2 points. Tonsfeld off the drive. Some good defense here from DGF. Zenzen able to recover it before it goes over that halfway line. Looks like Barnesville's going to make some substitutions too at the next dead ball. You can see Tate Inninger over by the score table. Tonsfeld fires it out to Hang. This is one of Hang's spots right there, and he airballs it. Zenzen nearly the board, but a block by Leach, and blocked away again, but I think they're going to get a foul called.
That's some monster defense there by the Rebels. That was very impressive to watch. I enjoyed that.
Well, that's one way to get the crowd into it, too. You can see that DGF student section is starting to get pretty rowdy over there. I mean, man, oh man, welcome to playoff basketball. That is some A1 defense right there.
An update from Perham, 11 minutes to go in the first half. The East Grand Forks Green Wave have a 10-4 lead over the Perham Yellow Jackets with just inside 11 minutes to go in the first half. We'll keep you up to date on that one here as the free throw is good to give the Trojans the 1-point lead back.
Second free throw on the way from Rusted. And he got it. So now 9-9 your score here, all knotted up with 11:28 remaining. As it looks like, can't quite tell what exactly the stoppage was there.
Yeah, I was looking down for a moment, so I missed it too.
Still waiting for that inbound. Looks like it might have been just a matter of substitutions, as I see Mason Kerr out there now for the Rebels, as he'll be the inbounder. But maybe something getting sorted out. Looks like there might be identifying actually over on the other end of the court. You can see the coaches sort of moving their feet around. I don't know if there's a slippery spot
on the floor or something, yeah.
Well, anytime I see something like that, I always think back to Jason Kidd. He just started his coaching career with the Bucks, and he actually got in a lot of trouble for this, but he wanted a free timeout, and so he had some water in his hand. He told someone to hit me. He'd spill it out on the court so that they could stop the play and wipe up the court. I don't think anything like that happened, obviously, but just fun little story I always like telling when I see something like that.
Well, I learned something today. I was not aware of that story. So,
I mean, I certainly give him A+ for creativity right there, but Trojans back on the ball now. Nielsen catch and shoot. That one won't rattle home. Leach with another rebound as Summers hits the deck right there. You can see maybe an appeal for a loose ball foul. They won't get it. Leach tries the three, won't go. In the hands of Zenzen. Now here's Tonsfeld with Schreiber defending, and Tonsfeld thought about taking the screen. He'll feed it inside to Zenzen instead, and nice defense from Summers inside. Just ripping it out of the hands of Caden Zenzen. Looks like we'll have another new face out there as Suter will come in for Zenzen.
Yeah, with as great of a defense that DGF has played up to this point in the game, if the Barnesville could get, like, say, a 6-point lead, then DGF, if this pace goes for the rest of the game, that's 6 points may be all one of these two teams needs to secure a victory in this one.
Yeah, certainly has a back and forth feel, but if it's back and forth and one team keeps scoring, I mean, they'll keep holding on to that lead. Tonsfeld picks up his dribble. Out to Nielsen, who'll try another catch and shoot. That one won't fall. So the three-pointer's not really falling so far for either team. Only one three-pointer in the game, and it was from Schreiber.
Yeah, you would think that if even half of those threes would have went in for each team, we would be looking at like a 28-22 score or something like that. It's been a low-scoring first half, 8 minutes gone, and we've only had 18 points scored combined. So it's actually, I misassigned one of the points. The score is 9-9.
Well, if you're a fan of defensive basketball, this has been a game to watch so far. You talked about that sequence of a few blocks earlier. It's just been stellar defense all around, and some people like to say that defense is a dying art, but clearly not on this court today. Leach hits the three, and there's another three right there. So now 2 threes in the game, both of them going the way of DGF, and Leach is up to 7 points. He's continuing his strong scoring against the Trojans. Tonsfeld, cross-court pass right there, a fight between two teammates, and calls for a travel right there. Tonsfeld kicks it out to Suter, off the glass and in. Wyatt Suter, the eldest son of Coach Chad Suter, banks it in, and that'll give that won't give him the lead after the three-pointer. It's 12-11, 1 point lead for DGF.
Yeah, I don't have the stat book in front of me, but I think only 2 threes have been made, and both of them by DGF, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. Give one to Leach and one to Kobe Schreiber.
But certainly more than 2 have been attempted. There's no doubt about that.
Just seems like just haven't quite been able to get those bounces to go their way yet, Barnesville. Tonsfeld tries a three off the dribble, and there's another case right there as he can't hit. We saw a cold start for Adam Tonsfeld last time around. He had only 2 points in the first half, but exploded in the second half for, I believe it was 16. So certainly not someone that you want to count out, and he's certainly someone that he could go 0 for 30, but he'll try that 31st shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonsfeld gets his own board right there off the miss and nearly went out of bounds.
I have no idea how he got that rebound, but kudos to him.
Nice feed inside Suter, and Suter can't quite bank that one in, but Inninger's there for the board.
I think on that particular shot there, Suter should have just taken it right away instead of waiting. And normally I would say the opposite, but on that particular instance, I think he should have pulled the trigger immediately.
I agree, especially after he made a similar shot like that earlier. Would like to see that aggressiveness, as they're going to get a travel called right there. So DGF not going to care a whole lot. The difference is they're going to get the ball back. Maybe Owen Leach a little bit, as he took a nasty hit down low. But obviously good to see him up and presumably at full strength as he's jogging down the court. Got some new faces in for the Rebels too, as Leach tries and hits another three. Boy, how about this kid right here? Owen Leach, man. He's just something else, and he's got 10 already.
Not only are they hitting the threes now, but it's effortless for DGF. They're just like they've practiced that 100 times coming into today's game alone.
Yeah, You can see they've got all the confidence in the world right now. Zenzen working on Leach down low, and a tough shot, and he gets the roll. Caden Zenzen, a much-needed bucket right there for Barnesville. I mean, you look at, they were only down, I believe, 4 prior to that, but certainly the way the momentum was going, they would have missed, and DGF would have got a bucket right there. Things could have been looking a whole lot different. Instead, Tonsfeld with a crazy pass inside. It's going to go off of Zenzen. DGF will get the ball back. 2-point game here with 7:17 remaining. And it looks like some substitutions here for both sides as Kerr heads back over towards the bench, presumably just to get instructions from his coach. But I do see Caden Otabelli out there for the Rebels, as well as Drew Sheely.
Oh, a nice job there by Neil. No, that was Bredman. Who's number 1?
Number 1 is Zach Bredman.
Yeah, okay, that was Bredman, I think. Yeah, it was. Nice job there on getting a hand in there to poke that ball out of bounds and temporarily stop the attack there from the Rebels.
Yeah, Trojans getting a chance to regroup on defense now as we hit the 7-minute mark in this first half. Wang will swing it out to Sheely. Number 5 on number 5 right here. They say basketball is a 5-on-5 game. We're seeing it in that matchup. Otabelli, the mid-ranger, and Otabelli hits his first 2 points on the night, and he's a dangerous scorer off the bench. We've seen it both times these two teams have met. He's just a real spark, and if he catches fire, don't be shocked to see him hit 20.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I don't think either team has had more than a 4-point lead in this game until maybe right now. Nope, that won't go, and that one won't go either.
Well, they must have heard you, and they wanted to prove you right there as those shots missing, and Barnesville going to reset with Tonsfeld out to Bredman. Nielsen, boy, just look at the intensity of defense right now from DGF. I mean, haven't seen really too many open looks here for Barnesville in this one. They've done pretty well for themselves to keep the game close, but this defense is relentless as Tonsfeld hits a tough shot. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, got that screen off the top of the post to get around the front 2 of that 2-3 zone, pulled up for the long 2 to cut the lead to 2.
And now here's 2-0, Justin Wang on the ball. He'll get it out to Leach. Out with Otabelli. Nice pass inside to Leach, but it may be a bit too hot to handle right there. Behind the back from Tonsfeld.
That one has to go in. Oh, man. Everything was right except missing that shot. And DGF getting the rebound there, and now they'll see if they can make things right on this end.
Kerr going fast in transition right there. It looks like he'll draw the foul, as that one's going to be going on Nielsen, I believe, and it is, and Nielsen's going to be headed to the bench as he picks up his second foul.
A lot of players for both teams have 2 fouls right now. It's I don't know if that's good or bad, or if that's considered consistent or what. I don't know.
Well, I think we could be seeing the depth of both of these teams tested if that keeps up. As players start to pile up more fouls, you're going to have to turn to your bench a lot more. We saw Bitker come out early. He's back in the game now, but speaks volumes of DGF's depth as they were able to do pretty well for themselves with Bitker out. Wang the offensive board, and he gets the putback. Justin Wang with his first 2 points on the night. Afternoon, I should say, actually. Night is just sort of a habit for me to say, but 19 to 15 now.
I think the next game will be at night. So.
There we go. Who knows? Maybe by then I'll be saying afternoon.
Could be worse. You could have a game at 9 in the morning, like I've had a few times. So. No, this has been a really exciting game. I couldn't be more pleased to watch both of these teams play in this one. It certainly seems like the momentum's with DGF, but the scoreboard would not suggest that.
Yeah, I mean, only a 4-point game. They could trim it to 1 with that shot right here. They can't quite hit. Otabelli the rebound, but really this is anyone's game right now. Leach with Hang defending. Out to Mickelson, still looking for his first bucket. Great player as well, the starting guard here for the Rebels. Now back with Leach, who draws a double team. He'll take on Hang. That's a tough shot, can't quite hit it. Fight for the rebound, and they're going to say it goes out of bounds off DGF. So Barnesville is going to get the ball back with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession lead here. 19 to 15 your score with 4:14 and counting. Here's Tonsfeld getting things started.
Yeah, and you kind of alluded to it just now, Eric. DGF has been hitting those occasional three-pointers, but they haven't been able to score on enough possessions down the court, and that allows Barnesville to stay within 2-4 points. And but then Barnesville takes shots like that one there from Redmond, and they allow the Rebels an opportunity to extend that 2 4-point lead to 6-8. But so far, neither team has really been able to pull away or pull close, if that makes sense.
I get exactly what you're saying right there. I think we've talked about this on a few previous broadcasts, just the longer a team can hang around, their confidence starts to grow, and they're like, hey, we're still in this game, you want to try and pull away while you still have the chance. I'm trying to remember exactly what game it was, but there ended up being a pretty big rally in that one. I'm like 99% sure it was a Barnesville game, actually. I have to try and rack my memory bank there.
Well, after the girls' game in Minaga, I don't remember any comebacks from Barnesville. If it was a comeback, it wasn't as big as that one. So
yeah, I remember you texted me saying it was like calling 2 different games in that one.
It was, certainly.
Certainly a heck of an effort right there. Leach pulls up, tough mid-ranger, and he gets the shooter's bounce.
That is a 6-point lead. That's the first time either team's had a 6-point lead. Barnesville needs to respond here to make sure that it goes back to 4.
Yeah, a bucket right here would go a long way for the Trojans, as that one's going to be stolen away. Bitker getting his hands in there. Not only would it have been cutting into the lead, but they just really need to see that ball go through the hoop right now for their confidence.
Now DGF needs to hit a shot. That one would be huge, but a foot in, that would have went swish, and that would have been huge. It would have made it a 9-point game, and now Barnesville with a chance to cut that deficit a little bit more here.
See if they can get something going on offense here. This DGF defense has just been phenomenal so far, not really allowing a whole lot. I'll have to try and count up how many points they've gotten simply just off free throws here while I get the chance. But I mean, certainly not a whole lot of field goals to come by, as Tonsfeld off the mark with his 3 right there, and his cold shooting night continues.
Yeah, that 2-3 zone forcing him to shoot from the outside has allowed a lot of offensive rebounds for the Rebels, and that has turned into points here in the last couple possessions, and now they're starting to say, hey, Barnesville, you better start playing or this game is ours.
Yeah, well, you could see Tonsville take a quick pause right there. Coach Suter, I think, had something, maybe a little bit of an instruction here to say, or maybe just words of encouragement. That one stolen away as well, so count up another steal here for DGF. I don't have an official number on how many they have, but boy, they sure have a lot, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Wang, the turnaround, no good. Zen's in the board.
I have this suspicion that Nielsen's going to get into this game here eventually. I don't think he's in right now. Bredman is, but
yeah, he was the man in the first half before their big rally against Pelican Rapids. I mean, I talked about it a lot. It was the role players that really stepped up when it was cold shooting. Nielsen had 4 threes in that first half. I have to imagine they will get him in the game soon, because he's another one of those guys, sort of like Annabelli, where he gets hot, he can put up points in a hurry.
Yeah, the problem that Barnesville's having is this 2-3 zone allows 3 offensive players for Barnesville on the outside and only 2 on the inside to rebound against 3 Rebels. And as you see, they got another rebound right there off a missed shot. And the Rebels' zone defense working fantastic right now, forcing Barnesville to shoot outside. And if they're going to get their points, they're going to have to get it from the outside. Otherwise, the Rebels have the height down low to get those rebounds, and they've proven that up to this point right now as we go inside 25 seconds to go in this first half.
Yeah, you have to give a hats off to Mike Clark and the rest of the DGF coaching staff for their defensive game plan so far. It's been schemed and executed flawlessly. Here's a chance for a bucket in transition, and that one's off the mark from Bredman. 5 seconds and counting. DGF having a chance for one final shot here. It's Wang at the buzzer and can't quite bank it in. So the buzzer sounds as we hit halftime here. 23-15 your score, an 8-point lead for the home team, the Rebels here. Low scoring first half, some stifling defense from the Rebels. Got a great game on our hands, and we still got 18 more minutes of this one. Should be a fun ride to the finish, and boy, to be a fly on the wall of that Barnesville locker room during halftime. I can only imagine what Coach Suter's going to be saying. during his halftime pep talk.
Well, I'm going to give a halftime comparison pep talk, but first we're going to take a break and go to our Midwest Bank halftime show, and we'll be back with our halftime thoughts here in a moment on the bank.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and IsoClean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
Here to DGF High School. Halftime here at DGF High School. Score is 23-15, an 8-point lead for the host Rebels here over the Trojans. Been a very deep over some stats. Take a look at these scores. We'll start off with the visitors like we always do, the Trojans. 4 points on the night for Adam Tonsfeld. He has a 2-point field goal. Also 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 3 points on the night for Ryan Rusted. He has a 2-point field goal and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Caden Zenzen leads the Trojans in scoring with 6. He's 4 for 4 from the charity stripe and a 2-point field goal. And 2 points on the night for Wyatt Suter. He had that 2-point field goal he banked in down low near the post. Also something I mentioned during halftime and something to take note of here. I should say not during halftime, during the game, but to take note of here during halftime. 7 of their 15 points here in this first half were from the free throw line, so not a lot of field goals falling for the Trojans early on. Just speaks volumes of how great the defense has been from the Rebels so far. Man, they've been stifling.
Yeah, and not to break away temporarily here, we want to thank the individual who sent us the message that our audio was off. I went in and checked the settings, and there was indeed a setting off. I got that fixed, so second half should be in sync with the video, and we do apologize for that. And I'm pretty sure we got that taken care of. So thanks for letting us know. Otherwise, we would never have fixed it. So thank you very much. But yeah, no, it says 23-9. Let's see here. That's not right. What happened? I don't know what happened, but we're going to put 6 points on the board here for Barnesville. When we went, we fixed. Now we had an audio problem. Now we have a scoreboard problem. So, but no, 23-15 is our score. About 5 minutes away from the start of the second half. And like you said, Eric, the DGF defense has just been phenomenal. I think you used the word stifling, but phenomenal is another great word to use for the Rebels, and they've done a fantastic job, and they're proving why they've only lost one game here at home. And I think I mentioned in our pregame show, the games that they have lost have been like single digits, 2, 3, 4 points. And up until about the final 2 minutes of that first half, this was a 2-4 point game. And then DGF went on a 6-0 run to almost extend that lead to 10 points. They missed that shot at the end there that would have put them up by 10. But I think Barnesville should be thankful that they're still in a single-digit deficit right now. But on the flip side, I think DGF has to keep in mind that we got to keep playing the same game that we played in the first half, because if we let up and allow them a basket or two here or there, they're going to be right back into it, and who knows what would happen going forward from that point. So,
yeah. Taking a look now at the scores for the Rebels in this first half. 2 points for Caden Ottavelli. He had a 2-point field goal, as well as Ian Mickelson. He's got 2 points from a field goal. Leading all scorers in this game so far is Owen Leach. He's got 12. He went 4 for 4 from the line, 2 threes and a 2-pointer. Mentioned in the pregame, he's averaging 17 points per game versus Barnesville, and he's well on his way to matching or topping that average in this one. 3 points for Colby Schreiber. He hit that straightaway 3 early on in the first half. Justin Wang with 2 points. He had that put back. 2 points for Jacob Summers as well on a 2-point field goal. So that rounds out the scoring for the Rebels, putting them at 23. Just remember, 8-point deficit here in this one. And certainly going to be something to watch out for here in the second half. Which team can sort of get out on the right foot? Mentioned earlier, I can't imagine what's going to be going on in the locker room of Barnesville right now. It's just been a dry spell for them offensively. I have to imagine that a lot of people might think that, moments like these, you picture like the coach like yelling or breaking clipboards, but I think especially in a spot like this, more often than not, it's just, all right, let's settle down, let's just go out there, let's play our game,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that there. Let's see. Update from Perham. The Yellow Jackets, last time we reported, they were trailing East Grand Forks. Now they lead at halftime by the score of 24-19. So almost a similar score to what we have here. And let's see here. Let's see if that second half has started yet. I'll hit refresh. No, they're still on a commercial break. So at least I believe they are. Yeah, they have about 5 minutes before they start the second half. Here we have about 2 minutes before we start the second half. So once again, the Perham Yellow Jackets leading the East Grand Forks Green Wave 24-19 at halftime. If Perham hangs on to that lead and Dilworth Glyndon Felton wins this game, then Perham would come here to play in the semifinals. If Barnesville wins this game, then Barnesville will go to Perham to play in the semifinals. So, and that's assuming that Perham wins that game. If East Grand Forks wins that game, then DGF would host or Barnesville would host if East Grand Forks wins that game. So the winner of this game will host East Grand Forks if East Grand Forks wins. The winner of this game, or if Perham wins, they'll come to DGF if DGF wins, and Barnesville will go to Perham if Barnesville wins this game. I know that was a lot to throw at you. Hopefully you figured it out. I know it sounded like I was struggling figuring it out myself. But since we have a couple seconds, let's go ahead and take a look at how the girls' bracket is shaped up right now. Barnesville defeated Crookston last night 54-46, knocking off the number 1 seed from Section 2A North. They will advance, and they will play in Pelican Rapids against the Vikings, as the Vikings knocked off Park Rapids last night 56-27. On the flip side, Fergus Falls defeated Roseau 73-41. So Fergus Falls will host the Holly Nuggets, as the Nuggets took care of the Breckenridge Cowgirls 61-43, and that's on the girls' side of the bracket. So your semifinals for the girls are set March 23rd. Holly at Fergus Falls, and Pelican Rapids will host Barnesville. Both those games tipping off at 7 o'clock. We did reach out to Pelican Rapids High School, and we submitted a request to come out and broadcast that game. Still waiting on a response. It's the weekend. We'll give them till Monday, and then we will hopefully have that game for you here on Magnitude Sports. As far as the boys, the winner of this game, as we've already mentioned, if Perham wins, we will have the game against either Perham DGF or Perham Barnesville. We'll have that game for you here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Well, that wraps up halftime, our Midwest Bank halftime show. Eric, your final thoughts as I reset the clock to 18 minutes here.
Well, we talked about this a lot. We said, hey, we'd probably potentially see these two teams meet up again here in the postseason. We got one left half. One team's going to be going home. I think we're going to see a lot of these teams turn to their playmakers here down the stretch. And right on cue, Leach will take it inside, but it's off the mark.
Well, this second half starting off exactly how the first half started with a missed shot by DGF.
And a bucket right here would go a long way. Seeing that first shot go in the second half for the Trojans. Here's Tonsfeld for three, and that one short. Fight for the rebound right there is going to be won by Leach. Out to Schreiber.
You know, I'm not opposed to the three-point shooting right now, but now I might be. Now I might be. What I was going to say prior to that three-pointer going in was Barnesville's going to have to try and figure out a way to get the ball down to their post players and see if they can't get some high percentage shots like that one, because the threes are not going in, and if they keep trying those threes and against that zone and DGF continues to get the rebounds like they did in the first half, it's going to be a long night and a long off season for Barnesville here if they don't try and figure something out here with that three-point shooting.
Yeah, you look at a lot of times teams, even the great teams, has great shot right there from Leach on a turnaround. He'll get his scoring start in the second half. You know, teams will have cold shooting nights. Even the greatest teams in the NBA, you know, they'll go cold sometimes. Barnesville's a great shooting team, but this might just be a cold shooting night for them. But nice shot right there from Tonsfeld. He's got 4 already in the half, and looks like we have a timeout called here.
Yeah, that was a long two too, and I say a lot of twos in that, but you know, it might be a confidence builder. It's like, well, I can't make it from 3. Can I make it from 15, 16 feet instead of 19 feet? And if he can get knocked down a couple of those shots, him, Nielsen, a couple of the other guys that are three-point shooters on the Trojans, then maybe they'll have that confidence. Maybe they'll get the depth perception they need on those shots to start hitting the threes and start knocking down the point differential on the scoreboard here. That was an interesting shot by Tonsfeld, and you have to wonder if that was one of the things that I was alluding to earlier. They have to figure out what they're going to do with that three-point shooting, because it's not working right now, and if that's one way to make it work, then kudos to Barnesville. But advantage still DGF at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their previous game against Pelican Rapids. Pelican Rapids was going in a zone look a lot in the first half. Interesting enough, they actually switched to man for a good amount in the second half, and I think that could have been a big trigger as to why Barnesville was able to go on such a run. Would not shock me if Coach Mike Clark and the rest of DGF was watching film of that game and saying, hey, we're not going to do that same thing. We're going to roll with the zone the full time out here.
Yeah, and a thing to note too is, it might be a little easier to make those adjustments on the home court because you're always shooting at those baskets, and you have a feel for your gym, you have a feel for that depth perception. But when you go to a visitor's gym, you're not always shooting here. You don't always have that depth perception, and that's where home court advantage comes into play for the home team.
Yeah, that's a great point right there, as that one is going to be ripped away there. Zenzen getting his hands on it. Here comes Tonsfeld quickly. Rusted back with Tonsfeld. He'll pull up from deep. Tonsfeld puts it in, and there you go.
You have a little bit of a spark here for Barnesville now as we hit the 16-minute mark to go.
Well, you can see Adam Tonsfeld coming out right before the start of the second half. He was I believe he was the only Trojan. A lot of Trojans will huddle up. He got a few shots up here before the start of the second half, and you could just tell he had a look in his eye. He's going to go down swinging.
Yeah, and like I said, he took that long two on the previous shot down possession down the floor, and maybe that was the adjustment he needed. We'll see how the rest of this game goes here, but Barnesville in a good position, down 6. The Rebels need to be careful here.
Yeah, they've managed to trim into that lead a little bit. You look at, Barnesville did a good job staying strong here early on in the second half too, I think. Seeing that three-pointer going for DGF, and they didn't get a bucket the first few possessions down the court either. That could be demoralizing, like, oh man, we might be in for the same story here in the second half, but able to hang in there so far as Bittker's shot off the mark and rebound Zenzen. So 3 minutes actually gone here in the second half, as that one's going to be stolen away. But they've hung in there. Still a 6-point lead here, though, and the ball for DGF. They could use a bucket right here to sort of calm things down, but first they'll call a timeout.
And we'll actually take a timeout this time. We'll be back after this here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
You can capture the moments and memories of this game and all of our past sports broadcasts on DVD. It makes a great gift for a parent, relative, son, or daughter. Please allow 1 to 2 weeks for standard delivery. Place your order now, quickly and easily at msportsnet.com/DVD.
All right, welcome back. Glyndon High School here, and I always mix that up. I'm so sorry. Dilworth Glyndon Felton High School in Glyndon, Minnesota.
Here's Mickelson getting things started back after that timeout. Out to Ottobelli. And that one stole away Zenzen. So this Trojans defense now, maybe it's their turn to get a few steals. Zenzen getting a few here in the second half. Now they'll get it to Zenzen down low offensively. Working down low, and he gets the roll. Caden Zenzen, 2 points for him, and he's got 8 on the night. And it's back to a 4-point game.
And a 4-point game is where the first half predominantly sat at, between 2 and 4 points. And now that Barnesville's back at this point in the game, we'll see if they have enough to cut it down to 2, tie it, take the lead, and maybe get themselves a 2 to 4 point advantage in the second half. It's certainly possible, but we'll see how DGF responds. That'd be a great way to respond, but it's off the front of the rim, and Townsville will get the rebound.
Now with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession lead. Hasn't been a 1-possession game for a while, like you were just saying. Let's see what Barnesville has drawn up right here. DGF still in that zone. Catch and shoot for Nielsen off the mark. And that looked good from where I was sitting right there, but maybe just a foot or two short.
Maybe Nielsen needs to take that 15-footer too, like Townsville did earlier.
Schreiber tries a 3, and Schreiber hits. Kobe Schreiber with the second 3-pointer of the game. He's got 6 points. And a little bit of a cushion right there for DGF.
Yeah, that is a 7-point swing there with Nielsen missing that 3, and we'll see if they can get a bucket here. They desperately need a bucket.
Back with Nielsen, out to Tonsfeld. And there's that zone defense in full force again. Not a lot of openings right there, and that one's stolen away. Mickelson will bring it up. It looks like Tate Inninger going to come into the game for the Trojans. Schreiber now directing traffic. He'll get it out to Mickelson in the corner. Now here's Wang. Leach with the turnaround. That one off the back iron. Rebound goes out to Zenzen.
And a nice box out there on the man-to-man defense for Zenzen and everybody else for the Trojans too, but more so for Zenzen since he got the rebound. And not sure if maybe somebody got away with a foul down there from my vantage point. It looked like an intentional push, but we'll let that one slide.
It's postseason basketball. The referees will let them play sometimes as Wang hits a corner 3. 5 points now for Justin Wang, his first 3-pointer, and it's a 10-point game.
And that is, I said we'd see how DGF responded, and they responded by getting their double-digit lead. I think this is the first time they've led by 10 in this game.
DGF starting to really get that momentum back. Boy, if they got a bucket in transition there, that would have been huge too. Some nice hustle there, but nearly stolen away again. Boy, it feels like DGF has about 8 players out there on defense. They're just
sure
swarming to the ball.
Yeah, we keep saying that Barnesville needs to get it to the inside, but it's not been easy to do that.
Rusted will sort of do that there as he has a nice little hop step.
Yeah, that was an interesting approach to a shot.
Yeah. But if it works, it works.
Yeah,
and it brings the lead back to single digits.
take what they can get right now if you're a Trojans fan. So
Nicholson out to Wang. Mid-range jumper from him off the mark, but Leach the putback.
Nice job by Leach. And DGF back to a 10-point lead, and they're just not giving up right now.
That's a pass going out right there into the hands of Leach. And he'll bring it up. Now they'll feed Leach down low. That's where he wanted it. Leach with a tough shot. Can't quite get it. Off the front of the rim right there. Barnesville going quick in transition. That might be something they want to try and do too. Just push the pace, not allow DGF to get into their zone. But first we'll have a timeout on the floor.
All right, well, we'll take that timeout with them. Be back in a moment here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISO-Clean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
Alrighty, welcome back here to DGF High School in Glyndon, Minnesota. 10-point game in our hands here, 36-26 with 10:36 remaining in this second half of basketball. Win or go home here. It's postseason time on Magnitude Sports. We've got a good one on our hands right here. Trojans down 10, but with the basketball. Let's see what they have drawn up out of this timeout. There's that zone defense again that's caused so many problems for the Trojans so far. Tonsfeld back with Rusted. Inninger in the corner. Good closeout right there by Wang. Tonsfeld open three. Off the mark right there, but Zenzen the offensive board. He'll feed it inside. Nielsen and one! So they might not be able to hit too many three-pointers, but they'll take a three-point play right there. It's Jack Nielsen taking it inside. Those are his first 2 points on the night, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. Justin Wang picking up the foul. That's his second. And Nielsen rattles home the free throw. 7-point game.
Update from Perham, the Yellow Jackets leading the Green Wave 34-24 with 12.5 to go in the second half.
Boy, and we talked about tough to beat DGF at home. How about another tough team to beat at home, the Perm Yellow Jackets? Man.
Yeah. I'm not sure where they're at. I think they've won like 60, 61, 62 in a row at home now.
Stolen away right there. You could hear calls for a foul maybe, but referees will let them play. Tonsfeld trying to kick it out to Nielsen, and looks like it took a deflection right there as he was trying for the no-look pass.
Yeah, some DGF fans not happy with that one. And they may or may not have a case to work with as well.
Looks like Mason Kerr going to come into the game for Justin Wang. Off the inbound, here's Tonsfeld. That one nearly stolen away, and they're going to get a foul called right there. Chalk that foul up to Caden Ottavelli.
Well, I think that frustrates not only the DGF fans, but the DGF players too, because you had the no call on that previous one, which was a lot worse than that little hand check there, and then they get the foul, and I think that's just frustration right there, and what you see just now just adds to that frustration. And if Barnesville can hit a shot here, watch out.
Yeah. This is a big moment right here. Another thing to watch out for is composure in the playoffs as Inninger hits. Tate Inninger with the corner three, and what a big shot from him.
That was something else. I kind of had a gut feeling a three-pointer was coming from somebody on that trip down the floor, and turns out I was right.
Boy, he is a grinder in every sense of the word. Schreiber off the mark with his three-pointer. Nice save right there, flying into the bench. Good to see Mason Kerr get up okay. A-plus hustle from Mason Kerr. They won't keep the ball, but boy, you could see him tumble over towards the tunnel almost. Over towards where those basketballs are kept, in between the chairs over by the bench. He'll take a seat on the bench, but he's got to be getting massive plaudits from his teammates and coaches right there for laying it all out.
Yeah, you know, at two occasions, DGF led by 10, and Barnesville has responded nicely on both of those occasions.
A tough shot right there by Nielsen, but it's going to go off of Owen Leach as it bounces off of him out of bounds. So with 8:41 remaining in this game, Barnesville down 4. They're going to get the ball off an inbounds pass, and it'll be Tate Inninger to take the inbounds.
Put their scoreboard back on screen there for you. Apologize to our Rebel and Trojan fans for that.
Pass out to Tonsfeld, who makes a leaping catch on it. Rusted back with Tonsfeld. Trying to feed inside Inninger. Inninger pulls up by the free throw line. That one a bit short. And the rebound into the hands of Wang.
That would have been a huge bucket too. He just needed to put a little bit more arc on that one, and it'd be a 2-point game.
Instead, it's a 4-point game and a chance for maybe 6 or 7 right here as Schreiber's out in the corner. You can hear the Barnesville fans starting to get into it as the feet are stomping. They're going to get a foul, but they're going to wave off the shot. So a foul called on the floor right there on Leach's drive.
Yeah, I'm standing up to be sure, but there's a lot more purple here than there is DGF, and I'm not saying that to make the DGF fans feel bad. I'm just stating it how it is.
Well, it's been a great showing for both fans, regardless of the population in the stands for them, as we've heard some loud cheers from both, and Zenzen with the block. Wow. What a block right there from Caden Zenzen. That's a shot in the arm right there, and you can see this Barnesville crowd getting into it. And a bucket right here, man, and this roof would get blown off. And right on cue, DGF answering with the defense chant.
Man, it's almost as loud as the Barnesville chant on this side of the gym. That's impressive. There may be more purple here, but the voices are about equally as strong. That's awesome.
Tonsfeld, the floater. I think on a different night, Tonsfeld might have tried that three-pointer right there, but with his cold shooting night, I don't blame him trying to take it inside, although that floater off the mark right there. Still just a 4-point game. Here's Mickelson. Audibelli will kick it out. Wang, corner 3. No good right there. Nielsen the rebound.
Barnesville needs a bucket here. They cannot turn it over. They need a bucket.
Tough shot. Tonsfeld won't hit. Zenzen the offensive board, and he can't get it. Second effort for Zenzen, and he's going to draw the foul.
And you can see some DGF fans jumping up there in dissatisfaction.
Well, I like the point you made about how they need a bucket. DGF is not going to be missing these shots forever. You look at all the great offensive players that they have. As you can see, one of them, Logan Bitker, about ready to check back into the game. I mean, if Barnesville doesn't get points here like they got at that free throw line.
Yeah.
I mean,
with 6:47, they cannot miss free throws. They need to make them, and so far so good for I'm drawing a blank.
Well, that second one's off the mark. Inninger nearly the offensive board. Zenzen going 1 for 2 from the line.
That's the name I was looking for. But the good news is this is the first time Barnesville's been within 4 since early in the first half, or about maybe midway through the first half. So we'll see. Now they've trimmed it to 3. Can they trim it further is the question. First, they got to play defense.
It'll be Leach driving inside. That's a tough shot from Owen Leach as he hits the deck. Nearly stolen away by Wang right there. Rusted able to secure the board, and now a chance to cut it to 1 or a chance to tie here for the Trojans. Big possession.
Want to say hi to Peggy watching on our Facebook page. Thanks for watching, Peggy.
Foul number 5 going to be called here on the Rebels in the second half with 6:13 remaining. That one going to be going on Wang, which will be his 3rd, I believe. So 2 more, and Barnesville, I almost said DGF there, Barnesville will be in the bonus for the rest of the way, and that'll be something to watch out for here. Nielsen to tie. Nielsen ties it!
I told you he was going to get hot at some point. No better time than then, right then and there to get hot.
Mike Mason, the genie right there, predicting the future. 36-all, timeout on the floor with 5:57 remaining. We've got a classic brewing here from DGF. Don't go anywhere here on Magnitude Sports. We'll be right back.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISO-Clean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back here to DGF High School. Tie game 36-all, and you just had a feeling that this one wasn't going to end so easily, as we are knotted up here with just under 6 minutes remaining. Here's DGF trying to answer. Haymaker thrown right there by Jack Nielsen. Let's see if they have a jab to counter.
The last time this game was tied, I believe that it was 60 points ago at 6-6.
Wow. Well,
I believe. I'm not keeping track of it like I normally do, but if memory serves me correctly, that was about right.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I mean, not too far removed from predicting the future with that Jack Nielsen shot right there. See what happens off this inbound after that foul. They'll reset with Schreiber. Now here's Mickelson. Stolen away by Tonsfeld. Tonsfeld going fast in transition. Tonsfeld for the lead, and he got it.
That's the first time, well, they've led in the second half, and they did have I think they had a lead early in the first half, but it didn't last long. Let's see if this lead does last long or not.
Well, man, oh man, oh man, they have just picked themselves up off the floor and back on their feet again. 2-point lead with 5:13. All the momentum with Barnesville, but this game is far from over. DGF could take the lead with a 3 right here.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything right now. I'm going to wait for about 5 minutes and 10 seconds here.
Well, Logan Bittker going to be going to the line. He's got a chance to tie things up. Haven't seen a whole lot of him with his early foul trouble. So he'll look to get his first points here from the free throw line. And the first one rattles home. 37-38, and a chance for 38 all. And Bittker can't hit the second one. Tough break right there as it rattles in and out. Back with Tonsfeld. DGF back in their zone. Tonsfeld, a little pump fake right there on the three-pointer. Now he'll back off. Now Rusted. Rusted gonna get called for, looks like they'll get a foul called on Rusted there.
And I'm wondering if that's in the act of shooting or not, because he was sort of in the act of shooting, but he might have been trying to pass it inside too. We'll see what the official makes the call here on.
Yeah, well, I think it just
it will be an inbounds pass. So.
And I like that call right there personally. Off the inbound now. Tonsfeld. Zenzen wants it inside, and he'll get it. Zenzen working on a wall defensively, and he's going to get a foul drawn on him. Foul number 7 now on the Rebels. That'll put Barnesville in the bonus. Number 3 on Logan Bittker.
Well, I said in a pregame show that I don't think this one's going to be quite the gap on the scoreboard. Turns out that I might be right.
Yeah.
I might.
I'm no math major, but 2 seems a lot closer than about 22.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, the Rebels have never had more than a 10-point lead. They've never had 11 or 12. It's always been 10 or single digits.
The brother of Hunter Zenzen, the linebacker for Iowa State, going 2 for 2 at the free throw line right there. Caden Zenzen continuing his strong game here as he had 6 in the first half. He's got 5 in the second. Give him 11 for the night. Mickelson, big three-pointer, won't go. And that would have been huge for the Rebels. That would have tied things up. Tonsfeld going fast in transition, and they're going to get a foul called.
Well, if you hear some loud thumping sound effects on our broadcast, that is unhappy DGF fans. So
certainly been a frustrating period right here for the Rebels fans as some fouls being called in this game. Now 8 on the Rebels. Tonsfeld's going to go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. Chance to make it a 2-possession lead for Barnesville. And he does.
We've talked about it all season, how big free throws are when the clock is stopped, and all season they never really hit on those free throws when we talked about it. But the last 2 or 3 games, they have hit on the free throws, and it could be free throws that determines the winner of this game here.
Well, there you go. And we talked about that in pregame too. Difference in teams at the line. You look at, I mean, both these teams have shot phenomenally from the line, but it's been Barnesville that's been getting to the line more. Here's Leach. Leach will draw the foul, so maybe a little bit of retribution right there for the DGF fans as they're standing up and cheering now on that foul call. That's going to be foul number 5 on Barnesville. It's going to be number 2 on Zenzen. Off the inbound, here is Leach. Leach going inside, and they're going to get a charge.
Yeah, there's no question about that. That was a charge there. And
Caden Zenzen taking the charge and getting the ball back, and you could just see the fire inside of him when he got back up. 5-point game, the Trojans with the ball. And it's been a tale of 2 halves here in Glyndon.
Yeah, DGF, if Barnesville does not score on this possession, the Rebels need to score on this possession that they have right here, because if Barnesville scores again, it might be the fans that keep Barnesville in this game.
Owen Leach with a big-time 3. I was just about to say, he hasn't scored as much in the second half as he has in the first, but he cuts it to 2 right there with a big three-pointer. Big shot from Owen Leach, and it's back 42-40, your score here, and things are really starting to heat up here.
Yeah, the Barnesville fans back home are probably like, Mike, stop predicting the future there. As you've so kindly put it. I'm not trying to predict the future. I'm just analyzing possibilities, and I seem to be hitting on most of them. So.
Well, the possibilities are endless in this game. I think we have about, take a look at our scoreboard, 3:41 remaining, I believe, if I'm reading that correct.
Yep, that is correct. Give or take a second.
Whole lot of ball game left in this one. Yeah, only 2 points.
We'll keep it here. We'll thank our sponsors, including Dean's Bulk Service and Midwest Bank in Barnesville. And let's take a look here. With 5 minutes and change remaining, Perham holding on to a 46-39 lead over East Grand Forks. Once again, if Perham wins that game, they'll come here if DGF wins, or they'll host Barnesville if Barnesville wins. If East Grand Forks wins, then the winner of this game will host East Grand Forks at their home venue. And with all that said, we still got to decide a winner here. And that 3 by Owen Leach may have been a game saver for the Rebels. We'll see how Barnesville responds.
Yeah, oh man.
But the intensity in this gym is just insane right now.
I mean, I talked about this a lot in pregame, but there's just something in the air. You could tell this was going to be a special game. And I was talking to a lot of people after the Barnesville game against Pelican Rapids. You know, they're asking me what the matchup's going to be. Said DGF Barnesville should be a fun one. It certainly has been. Tonsfeld hits the floater. Back to a 4-point game. And Adam Tonsfeld has come alive here in the second half. He's got 13 in the second half, 17 on the game. Now here's Schreiber, a great shooter, then Mickelson. Ottobelli. Schreiber thought about the catch and shoot, he'll give it back.
Yeah, they got to be really careful here. They got to get a good shot selection. because if Barnesville gets the ball back and hits a bucket down at the other end, you're looking at a very difficult two-possession game instead of a more convenient two-possession game.
Well, they're going to get the foul called on Tate Inninger. That's going to be number 4 for him, so he's now in foul trouble. Leach for 3. That one a bit short. Rebound Nielsen, and that would have been massive. It would have cut the game to 1. Instead, we might see a swing right here if Barnesville gets a bucket. Back out with Tonsfeld. Nearly stolen away right there. Tonsfeld will take it off the dribble, and they're going to get a foul called. That one, I believe, going to be on Justin Wang.
I believe that puts Barnesville in the double bonus.
And I believe you are correct. So 2 shots here the rest of the way for Barnesville. And it's going to be Adam Tonsfeld taking those 2.
If Barnesville starts missing free throws, that Owen Leach 3 will likely be a game saver for DGF. But it's all going to come down to what Barnesville can do at the free throw line here in the final 2.5 minutes, as it looks like that is possibly the end of the night there for
Wang, I believe. I had 3 fouls down for him, but
okay,
I might have missed one.
Maybe they just took him out then. I'm not. Maybe they just wanted to make a substitution.
Tonsfeld hits the first. I did notice the Barnesville student section was giving him a little wave, which I know normally in sports that's customary for the player fouls out, but as of right now, I have him only down for 4, so we'll see if he does come back in the game or not. Down the stretch for the Rebels. 6-point game here. DGF could really use a bucket.
Yep.
Schreiber for 3.
That could be huge. It is.
Colby Schreiber right when they needed him the most with a massive 3-pointer. That's his 3rd 3 of the game. He's got 9. Back to a 3-point game. Zenzen driving baseline. Zenzen and 1. Caden Zenzen with the flex and the foul. And he's going to go to the line and shoot one more.
(48-39). Perham leads with 4 minutes to go in the game against East Grand Fort. So it looks like Perham might be on their way to a win. Still a little bit of time there in that one, but we'll focus on this one for the moment.
Leach gets it out to Schreiber. Here's Mickelson. Ottobelli. Back with Ottobelli. And now a triple team on Leach. Leach hits the deck, and they're going to get a travel.
Yeah. That was a close one. There may have been some contact. Maybe could have been a Barnesville foul, but they're going to call the DGF travel. And, man, that's a tough one for the Rebels.
Stunning scenes here at Glyndon. And now here comes a bit of press from DGF. They're able to get over that halfway line. It's Rusted. Nielsen the floater. Off the mark right there, but a rebound goes out to Rusted. New life on this possession for the Trojans. Diving for the ball right there, trying to get the steals out of Belly, and they're going to get a foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one because I'll send him to the line, I believe.
Yeah, and that double bonus.
You're looking at a 5-point game, possibly a 6-7-point game, and one free throw. The Rebels can still recover here if he only makes one of the 2. If he makes both of them, that's bad news, and they're halfway to that bad news headline right there.
Well, yeah, maybe the newspaper's starting to get on the printing press right there, and
that's huge.
There you go.
That is a huge free throw. They're going to roll the ball in to keep as much time as possible on the clock.
Schreiber, big-time three-pointer. Schreiber, big-time shot. Colby Schreiber with ice in his veins, and he cuts it back to 4. What an answer from DGF.
Wow.
Oh, my God.
Is this game ever going to end? That's my question. So,
well,
how about we take a breather? Be back in 30? Sound good?
All
right.
Sounds good with me.
We'll be right back after this.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISO-clean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
All right, welcome back, and man, we have a game on our hands here, 50-46 in favor of the Barnesville Trojans with minute 28 to go. Update from Perham. It is 2:40 to go, and the Yellow Jackets have a 12-point lead, 52-40 over East Grand Forks. So we will we'll keep you up to date on that game as that one's nearing an end, and here we're nearing an end as well.
Unfortunately, man,
I
wish we had two more halves of this one.
Well, we might. You never know.
Yeah. Well, looks like Tate Inninger going to run quarterback here off this inbound. We've seen this a lot from Barnesville before. Tonsfeld turning on the turbo button off that inbound. Going to get his man in the air right there, and I believe that's going to be a whistle and a foul.
Falls on five, Sheely, first personal.
Foul's going to go on Sheely. That'll be his first personal. To the line, shooting two, Adam Tonsfeld. And the first one short. One more to come here as Leach going to come back into the game for presumably the rest of regulation. And Tonsfeld missing both.
That's a break for DGF. They need to capitalize on this possession.
Well, here's Schreiber, the man of the moment. He'll get it out to Ottobelli. Back with Schreiber. Mickelson pulls up for three. Mickelson hits! Oh my goodness, Ian Mickelson. Built different. 1 point game with 1:04 remaining. My goodness. He's got 2 3-pointers in this second half.
This is absolutely insane. I love it. Of course, as a broadcaster, you love these type of games. As a fan, you also love these type of games, but 1 point lead, both fan bases are nervous right now.
Man.
So.
I mean, I've said this about a few games I've done so far, but this is one where if you're just a fan of basketball in general, this is one that you just got to go back and watch. I mean, this is really the sport of basketball at its peak right here, in my opinion. Both these teams playing for the chance to continue their season. Some of these guys, it's going to be the last competitive basketball game that they ever play, and man, it just doesn't get much better than this, man. I've got goosebumps right now. They should put this game in a museum when it's all said and done.
I like that. I'm going to have to use that one in the future. That is great. Yeah, I want to say thanks once again to Dean's Bulk Service and Midwest Bank. We also want to say an incredible big thank you to Joe Nicky and the activities crew here at DGF High School for inviting us to come out and broadcast this game. We certainly appreciate that, and we look forward to many more games here in Glyndon as long as they continue to welcome us, and I hope that we do a good enough job to make that happen. So
yeah, well, I've had nothing but good times coming to this gym, so certainly been a great experience here at this high school.
Well, an update from Perham, 56-43. Yellow Jackets have the lead with 1:43 to go. Here we have 1:04 to go, and free throws coming up for Barnesville.
Yep, and it's going to be Tonsfeld taking that long walk down from one end to the other at the free throw line.
I think he did that on purpose just to chill out a little bit, you know. He seems like a chill kind of guy. And
we got the first one to fall right there after a previous 0 for 2 trip. Almost like a golfer walking down the fairway to try and make a big putt right there.
You know, do you want me to try and predict the future again?
Go for it.
He makes this free throw, and DGF ties it.
Well, I certainly, as a neutral, I would not be opposed to that. Here we go. It's Schreiber. Out with Ottobelli. Back with Schreiber. Schreiber to tie. Can't quite hit it off the front of the rim. Tonsfeld the board. Tonsfeld firing it down to Zenzen. Zenzen on the other end. Layup up and good.
That could be the dagger right there. We'll see, but that's going to be a tough one.
5-point game. DGF needs a bucket quick. It's Ottobelli for 3. Ottobelli hits!
It's a 2-point game now.
Not done yet. Timeout called on the floor. 2-point game.
25.7 seconds to go. We'll take a 15-second timeout, come back with the conclusion after this.
The scoreboard reveals the winner of an athletic contest. The real winners are the players, coaches, and fans who show good sportsmanship. Those who treat the game as a competition, show concern for an injured player, and accept all decisions from game officials. Please remember to be a good sport when attending a high school game. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
Welcome back to DGF High School here in Glyndon, Minnesota, where we have the site of really more than just a game. It's been a work of art.
Yeah.
52 to 54 your score. Barnesville up on top by 2. 25.7 seconds remaining in this one, and still endless possibilities. Trojans going to get the basketball here after that made three-pointer from Caden Ottobelli. Most likely see some free throws here, but man, just down to the wire, right as we predicted. Let's see how this unfolds here.
Yeah, let's take a quick peek at Perham, and it looks like 46 seconds to go. Perham has a 58-43 lead over East Grand Forks. So Perham's likely going to win that game, and they will either travel here to DGF or they will host Barnesville, and that all depends on what happens here in the next 26 seconds.
Tate Inninger will inbound far side for the Trojans. He'll get it out to Tonsfeld. Tonsfeld's going to draw the foul. 23.5 remaining, so not a lot of clock taken right there. Nice quick foul by DGF. And now maybe two of the biggest free throws of Adam Tonsfeld's life coming up.
.5, a 2-point game, and if he makes them both, that's huge.
The first one rattles out.
So it's still one possession game, make or miss. That's the I was kind of thinking we might have a timeout here depending on what happens on this free throw.
Tonsfeld hits the second.
There it is.
And right you are, timeout with a 3-point game. DGF getting the basketball, and they have a chance to either cut into that lead a little bit more. I think we say that a lot more at the high school and college level. Another sort of March Madness thing. A lot of times you notice we saw a lot of close games yesterday, you know. Teams will be content to take those 2 points and try a foul again, you know, make them earn those points at the free throw line. But then again, the way DGF has been shooting beyond the arc, especially over these past few minutes, would not shock me to see him try and tie it up here.
Well, I can tell you, the team that ends up on the losing side of this one, it's going to sting. There's no doubt about it. But you cannot hang your heads. These two teams have battled from start to finish, and they are still right there. Either team could go either way. And we said about 8 minutes ago this game could go either way, and that's held true up to this point with 22 seconds remaining.
Man, there's something about the Hartle Lakes Conference when these teams get together. It's something else, man. It's been a treat to be able to do games in this conference this year, and this one might be the cherry on the top of the sundae.
Yeah, well, you know, that first meeting in Barnesville came down to a 2-point difference. I believe it was 66-64 or 68-66.
Something along those lines.
This one could be right in that same area here, maybe 10 points less. But man, this is going to be a fantastic finish, and you just get this feeling that some magic's going to happen here at some point.
Nielsen will mark up Leach on the inbound. Ottobelli gets it over the head of Nielsen to Leach. And a foul called on Nielsen.
That is the 7th, I believe, so that should be 1-1 here.
That's right on. So 2 massive free throws coming up here for Owen Leach.
And just a reminder, he's got to make the first one to get that second one.
Yes, right on you are. So potentially 2.
Potentially 2. And the DGF fans are doing everything they can right now to try and get him 2.
And he's off the mark. Zenzen the board.
I thought I heard a whistle, because it hit the top of the backboard, so I think the ball's out of play. Oh, no, there's a foul. Okay, well, either way, the whistle was blown. I did hear a whistle, so.
And now it's Caden Zenzen's turn to be put on the hot seat.
19.5. The DGF, or the game in Perham had a lot of time to play. And this game was supposed to finish up first.
Zenzen hits the first. It's a 4-point game. The junior post with one more to come.
And it is final. 61-43. Perham has defeated East Grand Forks. So Perham will be awaiting the winner of this one here. And it appears after, with 19 seconds to go, you're down 5. You got a full timeout on the floor. Let's keep it here and analyze and discuss. What's DGF got to do down 5?
Man,
in your opinion?
I mean, it goes without saying, but they got to get a bucket fast. And whether it be a 2-pointer or a 3-pointer, I think you need one or the other at some point. Go with what the defense is going to give you. And wouldn't shock me if the defense tried to give them the 2-pointer more than the 3-pointer, because force them to hedge their bets and try and hit that 3 at the end. Definitely going to be a lower percentage shot. But you got to score, and then you got to foul and hope for some misses. And you got to do that all quickly, because I look and there's only 19 seconds left. I mean, you don't really have any margin for error. They got to play near perfect basketball down this stretch. But it's not impossible.
Yeah, I think maybe the best thing to do here, I don't know. I'm sure Coach Shooter said, hey, don't foul, don't foul, don't foul. But I have this gut instinct that if DGF takes it to the basket, they will draw the foul, possibly get an and one opportunity. That would be huge as well.
Yeah.
But if they can get an open look at a 3-pointer, then by all means, take it.
And conversely, if they do foul, if they don't do a shooting foul, they're still in the 1-and-1. And they will get the foul called right there. So Leach will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. And he's got a chance for a little bit of redemption.
So 15.2 to go now. Man, it is loud in here.
Leach hits the first. Big time shot from the sophomore, and he'll get to shoot one more.
The conclusion of this game brought to you by Advil.
Boy, might need to be sponsoring by some pacemakers too. Can't imagine the heart rate of these two teams and their fans right now.
And I've said this a bunch of times in this game and all season. Points with the clock stopped. DGF got 2 of them right there. Now it's a 1-possession lead. Can you force a 5-second? No, they cannot. They'll get it into Tonsfeld, and now Tonsfeld will be fouled. That'll bring it down to 12.4 seconds to go, and Tonsfeld will head down to shoot 2.
And he shot so many free throws in the second half, I'm running out of space. After these two, it'll be 12 free throws here in the second half alone. 14 on the game just for Adam Tonsfeld. I think it's safe to say he's been getting to the line a lot as he puts in the first, back to a 4-point game. Second shot from the senior, and he rattles it home. Adam Tonsfeld makes it a 5-point game. 12 seconds and counting. Here's Leach. Leach pulls up for 3, nearly hits it. Leach gets his own board and puts it in.
Wow.
Clock still running.
2 seconds to go.
And
that will do it.
Sounds, and that's it.
The Barnesville Trojans will travel to the Perham Yellow Jackets as they come in here and stun the DGF Rebels. And man, you know, the Rebels will end the season at 12-7, but man, they have an excellent basketball team, and I have nothing but positive things to say about the DGF Rebels here, and equally to say about the Barnesville Trojans. You can see Iniger over there kind of giving some back pats to some of the DGF players, and you can tell that DGF is certainly, and they've already turned off the scoreboard. It's a good thing we still have ours, but I certainly don't. I certainly understand why, as Barnesville will move on to play Perham. And man, that game is going to be something else too. There's something I said earlier in our game that I had something to say, but I didn't want to say it for about 5 minutes. There's something about the Barnesville teams. The girls getting blown out by Monaga, they come back and win. The girls falling behind to Crookston, they come back and win. Barnesville falling hugely behind Pelican Rapids. They come back and win. They were down by 10 at 2 points in this game. They come back and win. What does Barnesville have left?
Oh my gosh. Well,
that's
it was
what I want to know.
It was the tale of two halves in the school of three cities. Charles Dickens could have wrote a script like this. 59-56 your final score. Barnesville with a gutty road win here over DGF. They'll take the season series win over DGF as well. And like you said, they're moving on and going to the Hive to try and test Perm's home winning streak. And yeah, that should be a fun one as well, man.
I'm so looking forward to that game. I just cannot wait. Let's take a break because I don't even know what to say right now. I don't know, but we'll take a break. We'll come back. 59-56 your final. Barnesville improving to 12-8, and the Rebels finish their season at 12-7. More when we come back on the postgame show after this.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISO-Clean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
While the scoreboard reveals the winner of an athletic contest, the real winners are the players, coaches, and fans who show good sportsmanship. Those who treat the game as a competition, show concern for an injured player, and accept all decisions from game officials. Please remember to be a good sport when attending a high school game. This message courtesy of Magnitude Sports.
Welcome back here to Dilworth Glyndon Felton High School. Once again, your final score here for tonight. Barnesville taking home a gutty 3-point win, 59-56 over the DGF Rebels. You can see players coming back out onto the court now, getting a warm reception from the student section. Talked about it a lot during our broadcast, the great presence that the Barnesville Trojan fans had here today. Boy, they traveled well, and you can see a lot of them out on the court right now, and
yeah,
they're going to have a fun ride home today, man. I can't imagine how fun that bus ride back to Barnesville is going to be.
Yeah, and one thing you got to sit and think about is that they got Perham next. They have overcome so many odds against Pelican Rapids, against DGF. Both of those teams could easily have knocked off Barnesville had a couple plays gone differently in those particular games. And, if you're the Perham Yellow Jackets, I don't want to say that you're in danger, but definitely do not go into that game overconfident because Barnesville will knock you off if the Perham Yellow Jackets go into that game overconfident. And that is going to be a spectacular matchup. I have no words for how excited I am to see those two teams play in the semifinals. And you're welcome. And like I said, I'm stumbling on my words here. Update. We reported this earlier, but we'll report it once again. Perham has defeated East Grand Forks 61-43. So Perham will host Barnesville, and the winner of that game will go to the Section 8 2A championship game. And here's what I know. If you're keeping your eyes on the brackets and stuff, it says neutral site. I did talk to somebody who's in the know, And right now, the championship game locations have been narrowed down to Fergus Falls, Pelican Rapids, and Perham. So, if Perham defeats Barnesville, we know it won't be in Perham because it wouldn't be a neutral site. If Barnesville defeats Perham, then it's possible the championship game could be in Perham, depending on what happens with Fergus Falls. And I'm drawing a blank on who they're playing tonight, or who they played tonight, or if they even won tonight. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. They're one game away, and you got two of the. Barnesville knocked off Perham, ending a 31-game winning streak in Barnesville earlier this season. Perham got their revenge on the road when Barnesville went to Perham. But that's kind of the same storyline with DGF. Barnesville knocked off DGF at home. DGF got their revenge, and now Barnesville comes here and picks up a win. Does the storyline continue in Perham? That's where the question marks are. That's where Perham needs to sit down and say, hey, these guys are playing hot. Let's figure out a strategy to make sure we can come away with a win in this game. And if I know Coach Cressup, I'm pretty sure something along the lines of what I just said are the thoughts going through his mind right now. And that, like I said, that's going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Perham and Barnesville, they're just two of the premier teams really in this section. And it couldn't be more fitting of a matchup for the semifinal and a chance to go to the championship,
Yeah.
Special time of year, and these are games that these players are going to remember for the rest of their lives.
I think we're gonna have I'll have to take a look at the brackets, but we might have a 4-person crew at that game. We'll give you a special treat when Eric, you know about the 4-person crew, yeah. So we might have a special treat for you for that game. I know Jason and Lance will be joining us on that broadcast too. They have done a fantastic job helping us out with the Perham games this season. And I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to take a look at the brackets, make sure I'm not forgetting something. But look for a special treat in that Barnesville-Perham game. And thanks once again to our Barnesville sponsors, our Perham sponsors. And with that said, I want to give a special thanks out once again. I said this earlier, but to Joe, Nikki, and the activities crew here at Dilworth, Glyndon, Felton High School for inviting us to come out and do this game. We know it wasn't the result that the Rebel fans were looking for, but like I said, Rebel fans have nothing to hang their head about. Yes, the season is over, but man, they battled, and so did Barnesville, and Barnesville came out on top at the end. And you're kind of wondering there because, Nielsen, Tonsfeld, they could not hit the threes and in that first half, and you really thought that DGF was going to walk away with this one. They had 2 10-point leads in the second half, and we also mentioned at halftime that they can't let up on the pressure, because if they do, Barnesville's going to sneak in and steal this one from them. I'm not saying they let up on the pressure, but maybe they let up just enough, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Wow. Did we go through stats yet? Or?
I don't believe so.
Let's do that right now.
Well, let's go through stats. Starting off with the visitors, the Barnesville Trojans. 6 points total on the game for Jack Nielsen. He had that big three-pointer to tie things up. Game high 24 on the game for Adam Tonsfeld, including 20 in the second half alone. So big turnaround for him. Second week in a row where he's gone off in the second half. 3 points for Tate Inninger. He had that big corner three in the second half. 7 points for Ryan Rustad. He had a total of 4 in the second half and 3 in the first. 17 for Caden Zenzen. Pretty even scoring night for him. I suppose he had 11 in the second half, 6 in the first half as I look a little closer, but overall solid performance from him. And 2 points for Wyatt Suter. So those are your scores for the Trojans. And for the DGF Rebels, 5 points for Caden Otabelli. He had that big three-pointer at the end to make things really close for a while. Mickelson at 8. He had those 2 3-pointers in the second half. He caught fire down the stretch. 21 points leading the scoring for the Rebels. That's going to be Owen Leach. He had, I believe, 16 points the first time versus Barnesville, 18 in the next meeting, and then 21. So he kept on upping the ante with his scoring. 21 points there. He had a great game. Hit a few three-pointers in there as well. 12 points for Colby Schreiber, all coming from behind the arc. He had 1 3 in the first half and 3 in the second. 5 points for Justin Wang. He had a three-pointer in the second half. 2 points for Jacob Summers, those two coming in the first half, and 1 point for Logan Bitker coming in the second half on a 1-for-2 trip to the free throw line. So those are your scores for the DGF Rebels and for the Barnesville Trojans.
Well, we still need to select a player, maybe players of the game, and we'll take a 30 or 60-second break. Come back, select our Midwest Bank player of the game, and then we'll wrap this thing up, and we'll get you set for the next matchup here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network post-game show, and we'll be right back.
Dean's Bulk Service C-Stores in Barnesville and Sabin are your stops for high-quality Arco gas and diesel fuels, plus a car wash in Barnesville. Don't forget to pick up your favorite snacks and beverages as well. Dean's Bulk Service is your preferred choice for your propane, fuel, diesel, exhaust fluid, and ISO-Clean certified lubricants for your home, farm, and business. Call them 1-800-548-2799 or visit dbsoil.com to see what they can do for you. Dean's Bulk Service wishes the best of luck to the teams in the Section 8 AA tournament.
Your family, your friends, our community. At Midwest Bank of Barnesville, these cornerstones of family, friends, and community is the very heart of Midwest Bank. Whether it's help in expanding the family farm, building, remodeling, or purchasing your new home, or supporting our local schools, Midwest Bank is here because you are our family, you are our friends, and this is our community. Midwest Bank, banking your way on South Front Street, Barnesville. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
All right, welcome back to our post-game show here from DGF High School, home of the Dilworth Glyndon Felton Rebels, who took a loss this afternoon in the quarterfinals of the Section 8-2A playoffs. But man, they played a fantastic game, and so did Barnesville, and it was certainly one that could have gone either direction. I believe, Eric, you mentioned when you were going through stats there that Tonsfield had 24 and Caden Zenzen 17. And as we look at our candidates for Midwest Bank Player of the Game, what are your thoughts? I'm going to let you share your thoughts, and then I'm going to share your thoughts, and then we'll select one. We'll make a decision is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's tough to look at. You know, you've got some good shouts with Tonsfeld and Zenzen. You know, they both had big-time performances offensively, especially in the second half. You know, they were big reason for Barnesville sort of righting this ship. But you also look at some of the role players and the things that they did, not only with scoring, but just things that don't show up on the box score. You know, you look at Jack Nielsen, he had 6 points all coming in the second half. He had a clutch three-pointer to tie things up. Tate Inninger had a clutch three-pointer. You know, we didn't see a whole lot of them, but he made a few great plays defensively as well. Ryan Rustad got a lot of steals as well as his 7 points, you know. So it's really hard. You could go a lot of different ways with it.
I think the best thing to do is instead of selecting a player of the game, we should select the team of the game. Our Midwest Bank team of the game is the Barnesville Trojans. And the reason why I go that direction, I think I'll ask you if you're in agreement with that before I share more. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. It was a big team win today.
You look at Tonsfeld and Zenzen. Yes, they had 24 and 17, but the final score 59-56. You take that corner three from Inninger away, DGF might have a chance to win at the buzzer. You take one or both of the Nielsen threes away, DGF may have won this game. So the whole team, I mean, as you mentioned, a lot of steals, a lot of hustling, a lot of hand checking, a lot of getting those balls deflected out of bounds. Some great defense by everybody in white tonight and white this afternoon, whatever you want to call it. So, Midwest Bank Player of the Game goes to the Barnesville Trojans. Fantastic job here tonight. They move on to play Perham. Final thoughts before we wrap this one up here, Eric?
I mean, I'm looking forward to hopefully more of the same of a game like this when we go to Perm and do the game next round. I mean, it's been that kind of tournament so far. We've just seen lots of great basketball, and I think I can only hope that it continues. And I don't know, if history serves us well, then I think it will.
I'm going to tell you this. Let me pull up the brackets here. That game is going to be on. Let me pull up the bracket here. That game is going to be on March 24th. So I have 4 days to sit down on my chair at home and figure out who's going to win that game.
Wow.
I got to figure out who the star players are going to be, who might be a momentum changer. Will it be Adam Tonsfeld? Will it be Finn Diggins? Will it be Jack Nielsen? Will it be somebody else from Perham? There's so many variables in that game that you just I would hope that it turns out to be a game like this one here, where it's a 1-basket difference in the final score, regardless of who ends up winning that game. But we certainly wish the best of luck to the Perham Yellow Jackets and the best of luck to the Barnesville Trojans in that game. It should be a good one. We look forward to it here on March 24th from the Hive in Perham. And, you know, all these games have been great. I mean, why not have it at the Hive? That's a great facility. So, all right. Well, hey, once again, your final score here in this one, 59-56, the Barnesville Trojans. Hang on, come back, and hold off the DGF Rebels here at home. And for Eric Tiansen, my name is Mike Mason. Your final, once again, 59-56. We'll talk to you on March 24th, if not before then, from the Hive in Perham here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
The proceeding has been a presentation of the Magnitude Sports Media Network. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and to order a DVD copy of this broadcast, simply visit msportsnet.com/DVD.